Yo, what's going on, guys? And welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you send through to me on Twitter. And yo, it's been a minute, Feels like I haven't made one of these in a while, fam. I don't know, this lockdown's been a bit mad. I've been streaming every day. As you lot know, I had my birthday the other day. Yeah, I haven't done one since my birthday. So, yeah, like it's been chill, but I've still been putting in some work, boy. And we just finished that GTA heist as well. Big up them man there, bruv. Man like Sea Dog, everyone that was on Twitch with me, man. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it, boy. Bagged like a milli or something, almost a mil. Split down the middle, boy. Robbing some artwork and that. So yeah, that was lit still. But yeah, hope everyone's well. Obviously, it's testing times, but I think we're over the worst of it now. Well, I know we're over the worst of it now. Do you know what I mean? Which is brilliant. Death tolls going down and stuff like that. So we're almost home. We're almost home, guys. It's still gonna be a few weeks. I reckon it'll still be another 4 to 6 weeks anyway till we're out of this. However, yeah, gotta be grateful. All right. Oh, and also, we raised over 20 bags for the NHS as well with the 24-hour stream. And obviously the United Stand took the W in the quiz as well, boy. W's only, fam. W's only. So, yeah, it's been a good few days for me personally from my birthday to obviously winning the quiz. So, yeah. All right, let's get into it. Next one. Okay, the first one is from at Munaj Awake. It says, do you think Carragher implying that Pogba should know Souness is part of the false sense of entitlement that the English have been always thinking that they're better than they actually are? Henderson isn't expected to know a French league player from the 80s, but why is Pogba? You know what it is? This is obviously in reference to when Paul Pogba done the podcast. I'm guessing you lot would have heard it by now. And he said, right, I didn't know who Graham Souness was. Like, I know what he looks like. Didn't know who he was. And he basically said, oh, he was a decent... I heard he was a very good player, actually, what he said. And I think Carragher was trolling him, innit? He was winding him up saying, oh, it's a bit disrespectful. You should know who he is. Bro, when people speak about the Liverpool side of, say, the late 70s, early 80s that Souness would have been a part of, they don't speak about Graham Souness, bruv. Do you know what I mean? They speak about players. They speak about players like Kenny Dalglish and stuff like that in a lot higher esteem than they do of Graham Souness. Graham Souness managed Liverpool, yeah? And nobody would even fucking know because nobody cares, bruv. Because he wasn't a household name footballer. He wasn't. Yes, he won things, but he was a dead baller, fam. You lot go back and watch, yeah? You lot go back and watch old videos of him. He just ran around kicking people. Yeah, he scored the odd goal and that. But he was a hatchet man, bruv. He was a poor man's Roy Keane, bruv. That's what he was. And he was fortunate enough that he played in a very, very good Liverpool side in the late 70s, early 80s. He was a dead baller, fam. He was dead, innit? So when he's saying that, right, he could have handled Pogba, this, that, you'd have got nowhere near him. So it's just one of them ones where just because you play in a good team, that don't mean you're a good player. And furthermore, yeah, why the fuck should he know who Souness is, bro? Souness played for Scotland. Do you know what I'm saying? So, what? Man weren't winning World Cups or getting to World Cup finals and them thing there, bro. I think out of all the major tournaments he got in internationally, he didn't get out the group stages not once. So why would somebody, Paul Pogba, who was born a couple years after Souness retired, one, know who he is, and two, give a shit about who he is? Because you see the late 70s, early 80s, there were players like Zico. I'm sure all of you lot have heard of him. I'm sure all of you lot have heard of Johan Cruyff. I'm sure all of you lot have heard of Michel Platini. I'm sure most of you man have heard of Franz Beckenbauer and all these kind of men. The reason why you heard about these men is because these men were household names, legends, innit? Graham Souness ain't that. So the fact that he managed Liverpool and nobody even knows. I had someone message me say I didn't even know Graham Souness was a manager before he was a Sky commentator. Because honestly, Graham Souness, if he wasn't a pundit, majority of the football fans today, probably born after 1990, wouldn't even know who the fuck he is. So it's that simple, innit? So I think Carragher was trolling, but also a bit of it does come down to, mate, you think you're a bigger deal than you actually are, mate. Like, nobody actually gives a shit. Let me know if I missed anything. Do you know what I mean? Because Souness is a pagan, dead baller. I don't care what he won. He was a dead baller. You know what I mean? Danny Drinkwater's got a Premier League title, Premier League medal, and he's a dead baller as well. You know them ones there. So it happens. Dead ballers can get trophies. I'm saying there's loads of players that played for Manchester United in the treble-winning season, which will go down as one of the best teams in Europe or even ever to in terms of England to win a European and domestic treble. Yeah, and we had some dead ballers in that team as well, bro. Like, man can't tell me that the likes of like Hennenberg and David May and these man were wavy ballers. They weren't, in it. But them man have got bare trophies, bare medals. So do you think Hennenberg could go to someone like, let me see, even Virgil van Dijk? Imagine Hennenberg went to Virgil van Dijk and was like, yo, put your medals on the table. Fam, Van Dijk's way better than him, blood. Fuck the medals on the table, blood. You know what I mean? Like, so the whole medals on the table thing is dumb. And furthermore, Souness ain't got no individual accolades anyway. Paul Pogba's got fucking golden balls from under 20. He captained the under 20 France team to a World Cup. And then he done it with the senior team as well. He's got bare individual accolades as well as his team accolades, bruv. That there's not even a conversation. Souness ain't even levels for bog standard ballers, bro. Let alone Pogba, bruv. Man can't chat to Pogba. So I found that fucking hilarious. At Temptation84939, since Jaden is from ends and shows lifestyle through social media, do you think you'll get as much criticism or even more as Pogba? Yeah, absolutely. Jaden Sancho, yeah, is a proper, like, from the ends you, innit? Drip, bare fashion and that, jewellery, watches. To be fair, Rashford's like that as well, but the difference is because Rashford's PR team are always out there kind of throwing out nice little things, yeah, it keeps the public off his back, innit? Well, the media off his back, so to speak. But also the fact that Rashford's mank as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, the United fans will protect him, innit? Like, because Rashi's got the blinged out chain and he's wearing Dior and all of that. But, you know what I mean? He ain't really got swag in it. You could tell that Jesse almost introduced man to these things and he's just trying to think. But that's not really who he is, innit? Whereas Jaden's on this drip thing, innit? Like, proper. So I think that unless Jaden's PR team are going to try to go a different approach, there are going to be times when he does get criticised if he's not playing well or if he's off form. But I don't think there's any way of him escaping it. I just think because of his attitude and everything like that in general and how he plays, I think he will definitely get loads of criticism if he's not playing well. Fingers crossed we don't cross the bridge where we get man and then he struggles to settle, because then I think they will have a field day with him, innit? It won't be Pogba levels because Jaden's English, innit? So I think that post Raheem Sterling, we won't get another Raheem Sterling in terms of abuse from the media. They'll save it for the foreign players. But I do think he will get overly criticised. At _Rico gotta chill. Why are British players who are overrated by the media held to a lower standard than foreign players who are underrated yet heavily scrutinised? See, that just touches on the same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. A lot of it is xenophobia, yeah? And it's just like, our thing's better than your thing. It's like when they compare the Premier League to other leagues, like, they disrespect other leagues so much. Like, calling, like, the French League a Farmers League and that. And you know what? Man do it for banter and all these things, yeah? But if it's a Farmers League, when English teams play against all these other teams, they're supposed to clout them, but they don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even if, like, an English team played against fucking Salzburg and them teams there, bro, they're not smashing them. Like, they're not smashing them, bro. Like, they might beat them, like, 2-3-0 or something. They're not putting 8 past them. Do you know what I mean? So, it's just one of them ones where I don't think any of these leagues are farmers' leagues. I just think that the style of football is less versatile abroad, which means there's less different types of teams that you have to play in it. And because of that, you don't have to think as much. So most of the time, just having better players than the other team is enough to take you through and get the W in it. Whereas in the Premier League, there's more diversity in styles of football, philosophies, you know what I mean? And it's more high paced and more physical. Less technical, more physical. Do you know what I'm saying? So because of that, I feel like, I feel like, they just disrespect the thing. Like the German league. The German league's very good technically. Like there's players that are in the relegation zone in Germany that are technically better than some players that are in the top 4 teams in the Premier League. That's facts, bro. Even in Spain, you can go to the 3rd division in Spain and there's man technically better than fucking Daniel James. There is. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think because of the disparity in the money as well situation, like if you think about how poor a team in the relegation zone is in France compared to a PSG, whereas in England, a team like Fulham could come up and spend, I think they spent like 150 million or something like that coming up. Fulham, bro. Fulham. Whereas teams that come up from the 2nd division in Spain, from the Segunda, teams that come up from like Serie B and all of that, them man can't slap 150 million euros in a transfer market to stay up. Like, it's just a different conversation. So I think because there's more money here and a bit more ignorance about football in general, I think that leagues are disrespected, players are disrespected. Do you know what I mean? It just comes from a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like being patriotic, but it's more like a nationalism kind of, our thing's better than your thing. That's just what it is, and that still comes down to the same arrogance from the Carragher thing. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it is just arrogance, man, but it's always been there, man. Look at the size of the British Empire. Them man been taking whatever they want, and it's just kind of been like, our thing's better than your thing. If we like your thing, we're going to take it. So that's just kind of how it is. Like, even when you look at the Prem now, if it weren't for foreign players, the league would be shit. Let's face it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's absolutely mad how the first 3 questions, even though I selected them completely individually, just kind of all had the same flavour to them. At Herbert Football, it says, I don't think buying Grealish is needed because we have Bruno, Mata, Lingard and Gomez to play in the 10. What are your thoughts? I think that United should get rid of Mata, Lingard and Pereira, blood. I do, because Grealish is like a combination of all of them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to give you... Well, he'll give you the Pereira shithousery. He's not going to give you the Jesse Lingard mobility as in all the running and that. But technically he's better than him. And then he's got tech, bro. Matt has got tech. But Grealish is more physical and he's got more pace and he's younger. Do you know what I mean? So I just think that he's kind of a hybrid of all 3 of them. So I think that we can afford to downsize the squad, get rid of at least 2 of them. I'd get rid of Pereira and Lingard and just bring in Grealish as a replacement from the bench. Because, you know what I mean? You can bring on Grealish, you can cover on the left-hand side if there's injuries and we need to use Marcus up front. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a multifunctional player. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the 10. I think that Grealish makes perfect sense as a squad player. He won't be starting if the team's fully fit. I think you'll know that. Coming from an Aston Villa, he's not going to demand high wages. He's not going to demand to start. And I just think that we need to be thinking about our bench, bruv. Like, even I was playing PES the other day, yeah? Prime example, I was playing against Manchester City. David Silva got injured. I was laughing, yeah? And then they fucking brought on Bernardo Silva to replace him. And I was like, what the fuck, bruv? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of depth that a Manchester United should have if we need, like, if we're going to be competing again. So there's no bringing Jack Grealish on off the bench, yeah, with 25 minutes to go against, like, let me say, like Burnley at home or something like that. Bruv, you eat them up. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of depth that Manchester United need to be aspiring to. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. And last but not least, it says at Dusty_Wazir, do we need a tactician or just a good manager? That depends. Because If you have a good manager, but the number two is a good tactician and a good coach, then you're fine. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson did for most of his career. Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't no genius tactician. He wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He really weren't. And he wasn't a genius coach either, but he was a brilliant manager. But what he did know is he knew when to bring in his number two, when to change it, diversity of opinion, different playing styles. Because if you look at Manchester United over the whole time he was in charge, the style of football changed, the philosophy changed depending on what number two was in. Like, my favourite period was the Queiroz period. Know what I mean? Where Nani and Anderson came in, know what I mean? And we had the fluid front three, and we were clotting teams in Europe, bro. And we ended up winning the Champions League in '08, bruv. And yeah, like that's my thing, innit? And you could tell that wasn't a Ferguson thing, because before that, like when we won the treble in '99, we were playing a 4-4-2. We played a 4-4-2 in Europe. In Europe, when a lot of teams outside of England weren't playing a 4-4-2. And we were going to like the San Siro and that and playing two up front, bruv, and really sticking it on teams. When in Europe, it wasn't the done thing to still be playing a 4-4-2. That was quite exclusively an English thing. Like 4-4-2 died in this country quite recently compared to the teams on the continent. Whereas a lot of teams on the continent been playing one up front. Do you know what I mean? So I think that Sir Alex Ferguson tactically, the reason why he was able to manage for so long is because his staff was always evolving, innit? And that is the best thing. But ultimately, he was the master psychologist, master man manager. And that's why he managed to he could put out a team of 8 defenders like he did, I think, against Arsenal when we beat them. I think it was the 8-2 game. I think we had like 8 defenders on and that. Man had Raphael and Phil Jones and then man out and slap, man. Because he just knew how to G these man up and get the best out of them. It wasn't a tactical thing. It was more like, I'm going to get all of these players to run through a brick wall today for me because I'm just the don, innit? So I think that you don't have to be an amazing man manager and coach together. When you are, you're Pep Guardiola or you're Jurgen Klopp. But these people are generational, innit? These are generational coach/managers. But most of the time, you're not going to get that. You're going to get guys that are amazing coaches, are not good man managers like LVG. You know what I mean? He's not a great man manager. And a lot of people have said that, but he's an amazing coach. Like Wayne Rooney said he's the best coach that he's ever worked with. And then you get people like Ollie, who's clearly a good man manager, but he's a shit coach. You know what I mean? So if he had sense, he would bring in a very good number two, a very good coach, tactical number two, because Mick Phelan ain't no tactician, innit? And then I think that all the boxes will be ticked. But I feel like if you need to be one, you have to bring in the other, and vice versa. That's if you know yourself, innit? But maybe he thinks he's a good coach. Let me know what you think about that. And big up, guys. That was your Rants Red Talk today. It's been a hot minute. I won't leave it so long next time. Big up everyone that's supporting the streams, watching the Twitch. Big up everyone that's still watching the Pez uploads. I've got loads that I haven't uploaded yet. I'm going to get to them. I got sacked, bro. My 3rd season as United manager, I finished 4th, got sacked, which is good. I deserve to get sacked if I finish 4th, bro. Like, United can't be accepting mediocrity, you get me? So I started again. You'll see that, and I've made some slightly different signings at the beginning, and it's going well so far, so you'll see. Big up for all the support, and hopefully, do you know what I mean? Like, you guys just keep your heads up, man, and hopefully we're out of this soon. Peace.